with Sabrina and Adam. Sabrina's from Agile World. I'm kind of interlope occasionally as a coffee chat person. And Adam and I are from Arabica Transformation. And Sabrina with a different hat. She has many hats.
She does have many hats.
Today we are going to talk about doing the work. When you've thought about the value, you've understood how you want to measure the progress of the value, and the benefits of the work, actually you have to roll your sleeves up. Here I am, metaphorically rolling my sleeves up and get on with doing the work. So what about doing the work is important? You've got to be realistic. You've got to be so realistic. There's no point saying that I can knit you an elephant by tomorrow afternoon if you can't do it, because all you're going to do is disappoint people. You need to be really clear about the value, and we've talked about how you arrive at that point previously. You need to start small. A phrase that people throw around, and I don't hate, so I'm going to throw it at you, is you can't boil the ocean. Unless, of course, a meteor slams into the middle of it and the dinosaurs die, then the ocean boils. And once you've built your agile bubble, you have to grow it out. How do we think about doing the work? Well, we have to break our work down into chunks. You've got to be able to deliver something either in an iterated time-boxed period, or picking the next most valuable thing off the top of the pile and cracking on with it. You've got to have well-described work. We've mentioned that. There's no point the three of us sitting here thinking about, we all know what we're talking about. When Sabrina's thinking about a circle, I'm thinking about a triangle, and Adam's thinking about a square. We have to be able to size the work so that we can understand whether it's small enough for us to deliver, and if it's not, to break it down further, but also to understand the effort it's going to take to deliver due to its complexity. And then we have to actually get on and plan it into our grand scheme of things. People think working in these new ways is a sort of hippy drippy love fest where we don't plan, we don't size, we just do it, man. It's cool, we'll just do it, man. We don't need documentation, man, because it's totally agile, man. No, this is not true. We do need to plan, because we need to know who's available, we need to know who's on holiday, we need to know when we can fit it in.
We need to know what value we're going to deliver so that we can tell everyone else in the cycle as well, so that our value lines up.
Exactly. How valuable is it? Is it a high priority for us? Because your priority might not be my priority. So we need to be collaborating with the other people, either in our bubble or outside our bubble.
Yeah.
Sorry, carry on.
I think as we're describing work and sizing work, and and we're tracking our work and everything else, we're working to resolve a statement, and we're working to resolve a statement that hopefully we've been involved in creating. So our leadership has involved us in that organization and said, what are the benefits we want to achieve? Let's define let's create measurable statements about that. So we're working to resolve those statements right now.
Yeah.
So we should, as teams, we should be thinking about the work that we're undertaking and saying, does it resolve that statement? Does any of this take us forwards? Go on.
As leaders, we should be thinking, here's the benefit that we're trying to deliver organizationally. Yeah. Does the work that I am doing, that my team are doing, drive us towards the outcome, the valuable outcome that we have decided upon? And if not, based on the feedback and the data, how do we change course?
And breaking your work down means that those are actually in the role, because you can have a leader up here that's making decisions and going, okay, we're going to change all the roles and they're going to be doing this, but they're not
the ocean.
Yeah,
And the
they're
people
not.
at the
They're
bottom
not
are going,
the,
"What we can."
yeah, well, they're not the doers. They're not the people sat there doing it.
Yeah.
So by
No.
breaking it down, we understand. We get an understanding of, is this possible? You know,
Yeah.
is this what is needed? You will get so many.
Do we have a shared vision?
Yeah. Do we have a chef? You will get so many people that will come in and go, right, okay, so this company wants to go agile. So your project managers are going to be product owners or scrum masters, and you're going to do this role, you're going to do that role. But actually, have they understood, you know, where is the value? What does a team actually do? What's their delivery process? What's their structure? You know, do they actually want to do that role? So many people I've spoken to where they've just been put into that because a leader has had an idea, or someone's come in and told a leader, right, you need these people to do these roles. They've gone and got trained box standard of those roles, but actually, is that the best fit? You be a scrum master, well, actually, this team could actually be a self-organized team. They could actually self-organize, and they don't, you know, they could be facilitators on their own because of the way the delivery works, because of the structure, because of the product and what they're delivering, understanding all that. And that's collaborating together, understanding what the want is, where the value is, breaking it down into chunks and working together as one whole team. And that's multiple. It's the Vogue thing again.
We've cycled back round again. We're back in the green. We're talking about, you know, the support, protect and grow.
Yeah.
All over again. And you know, I think that's really important. If we're talking about organizational change, and we're talking about using work in flight to resolve the benefits in those measurable statements that you know, we've created as a whole, we are going to be delivering value and change at the same time, which is, you know, that's very stressful and very difficult.
It's the holy grail of change.
Yeah, and we need to be able to run successful experiments.
Yeah.
And if we don't have psychological safety in our environment, and we don't have leaders that are, you know, supporting us and protecting us and growing us in those teams, it's incredibly difficult to run a successful experiment where you can say, this went well, these things did not go so well at all. Here's a load of stuff that we learned from it. We're not going to do that again. And we have value from those things that didn't go so well, because you don't want to present those back. You don't want to tell stories around those in front of the rest of the organization in an environment where you don't have quality leadership that is supporting and growing teams in a psychologically safe environment.
And the number of times, and I'm sure it's not just me because we've been in many places together, the number of times I've seen leaders say, be agile, be faster, do this, do that, but not giving the support or the space to actually make the change it's just terrifying. It's like, right, you're agile now. Go faster, be more nimble, respond to market forces, but I won't give you any of the infrastructure you need because that's expensive and I'm not spending my budget on it.
The brilliant thing about this is, as you do the experiments, you'll understand your organizational appetite for change, which goes straight back into that leadership, that understand the benefits section.
Yeah.
You have to understand your appetite for change so that you know what level of benefit you can achieve. If we've got a tiny appetite for, you know, this bean of change, that's all we're going to eat, then actually the benefits you're going to release are going to be quite small, but that could be okay for your business right at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then later on, as you you know, as you work, measure and change, then you look at now, and now has changed.
And I don't know, I mean, I know from my previous experience, and you guys may have experienced the same, you may have experienced something different, where I've seen the most success is where you put together like almost like a small agile crack squad of practitioners who you nurture and grow and support and develop from the tiny bean that Adam mentioned, and then you start to push out. It's like the Big Bang, isn't it? So there's tiny critical masses reached where suddenly something happens, then boom, it spreads.
And one of those people should be a member of leadership.
Should be.
Yeah, it's not when you say a crack team, it's not the doers. One should be a leader as well, minimum one.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say something controversial here as well. Ready for it? Just to enlighten people that failure is no longer a negative, it's now a positive. You can actually get value from your failings. Do you believe that?
It's an opportunity to learn.
Yes.
If you've never failed, you've never tried something different.
You've never lived.
As somebody said to me very recently when I was on a skiing holiday, if you haven't fallen over, you're not trying hard enough.
It's true.
As I limped away.
This is the circle. It all interlinks. Do you know what? The funny thing is, through the series, we've still interlinked against all the others because it is what do we call it? I don't want to call it. Is it a circle of trust?
It's like a massive codependency. You can't have one without the other.
No, you can't. You can't have one and the other.
You can't deliver value unless you understand what the value is. You can't deliver value unless you understand what the benefits of the value are. You don't know how to deliver value unless you can explain the flow from idea to valuable outcome. You can't do the work unless you understand what the value is and you can break it down into deliverable pieces. And it doesn't matter if it's a team level, middle management level, or senior level. The whole thing has to be there. And this is where the psychological safety comes from that we're going to talk about another time, or none of it's there.
And on that note, oh God, sorry, Adam.
You can't make, we've talked about it going as a cycle, but it also lends itself to two areas, a leadership, as we said at the beginning, that leadership swung piece where we need the influence of teams, and that teams piece, so the green and the purple being the more senior leadership side, and then the pink and the orange being the more team side. But we'll fail to grow the agile bubble, and we'll fail to work, measure, and change, and we'll fail to use practical agility if our leadership hasn't involved us on that journey in the first instance.
Yeah. And you could almost say part of our jobs in what we do is, we mentioned in 3 episodes before actually, about that section in the middle, like above leadership, teams, management, that section where nobody kind of talks and collaborates.
That face gap.
Yeah, we almost are part of that translation level because we've lived, breathed, and seen it. We understand it. We're like that.
We talk leader. We also talk team.
We talk multiple
facilitate.
And most of us have actually got experience in multiple. It's the Vogue, and there's a yoga term, the dead crab or something like that.
I don't think it is a yoga term.
Trademarking that. Dead crab, yoga,
dead crab.
agility.
You're so making this up as you go along. That's terrifying.
Watch this space because there's one more. Bye.
Duh.